hey. Hey, it's John with My Low Carb Coach. Thanks for being here. I might be 1 or 2 minutes late, sorry. I was having a little technical difficulty, but hey, you know what? That's life, right? Minding your thoughts, okay? So this is a big one because there's a saying that we really need to pay attention to, okay? And that is this. Whatever you think, okay? Whatever you think, you will feel. And whatever you feel is what you end up doing, all right? And you could say your feelings are kind of like your emotions. This is very important because when we're trying to do something like improve our health or lose weight or something, the biggest hurdle to it all, the hardest thing for most of us is self-sabotage, is what happens when our motivation tanks. Because when we first start out, when we first start doing this, it's so much easier to just go on motivation and willpower, right? And you're going to go to the gym. You're going to start eating healthy. You're going to eat, only good healthy carbohydrates or no carbohydrates or whatever the plan is that you're planning on doing. And then, oh, wait a second, we went out to dinner and all of this stuff was here and you overate or you ate the wrong things and and it just, this happened. Then the next day, your car broke down or this happened, and then the motivation goes down and we just find ourselves kind of like wondering what the heck just happened. And I'm just going to start next Monday. I guess I'll just try again. And when we get into this thought pattern like that, this like black and white thinking, I've messed up today, I messed up the one day or meal, and now the rest of the day is ruined, right? That's not the right thoughts. That's not the right thinking. I mean, if you have kids, would you tell your kids that if they're, you're trying to teach them how to play baseball or something and they swing and they miss, and you're like, you messed up. It's all ruined. We'll try again on Monday. No, you'd say, get back up to bat and just let's try to make your next swing the best swing that it can be. Okay, so again, what I had said in the very beginning of this was whatever you think is what you're going to feel, and whatever you feel is what you're going to do. You see, losing weight is not about how many carbs you're eating in a day or about how much protein you're getting. It's not about a keto diet. It's not about healthy whole grains. It's not about intermittent fasting. It's about you and what you're doing, okay? How you behave. Weight loss, let me put it this way. The weight that we have, and trust me, I know I was there for many years. I tried to lose this last like 60 pounds that I just could not lose. I would lose a little and come right back. I'd lose a little and come right back. And what that comes down to is our eating patterns. And what that usually comes down to is how we're feeling. And that usually comes down to what we're thinking. Do you see how this works backwards? Okay? I said, whatever you think, you feel, whatever you feel, you do. Problem is that a lot of times we let life, the circumstances of life, work from the backwards going from the front back or the back forwards. It's going from the do, okay? Whatever way you want to look at it, top down, bottom up. It's going from the do. You're doing these things, you're eating these things, you're consuming this much food or this kind of food. And when you do that, what happens? You start feeling something. You feel an emotional response. And I don't know what your emotional response is. Only you know what that emotional response is. For some people, it might be shame. For other people, it might be guilt. So whatever that is for you, that feeling then causes you to think something. Do you see how that goes in reverse? This is called living life by circumstance. And we don't want to live life by circumstance, do we? What would we rather live life by? I would rather live it by creation. I don't know about you, but I'd rather live it by creation myself. And that goes with first starting in your head and asking things like, how can I? What can I? And I'm going to get into some language and words that perhaps we should use or not use when we're trying to lose weight or really improve anything in our lives. Let me know in the comments, by the way, if you're here and everything. I have a cup of coffee. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but I love coffee. What can I say? So let me know if you're here. Say hello. Let me know if you got the stall guide, by the way. About stalling out, losing weight, and how to reboot. I put a bunch of stuff inside that guide. Let me know if you like it, if you read it. Okay, so let's talk about some more. I have some notes on the screen here that I'm looking at because I wanted to make sure I hit upon these things. Okay, so I had asked some people. Actually, I asked on the Facebook page a quick question. If I could snap my fingers and you were my client and I was sitting there in front of you, what are like 3 things that you would want more help with? And if you scroll back, it's not too far on the page from here. If you go back and you look at that and you look at the comments that people were asking in that area, then they were asking questions that were like, I have it right here. So like not eating enough, moving more, and staying away from sweeteners was one of them. Denying sugar and sweets and staying motivated. Another one was staying motivated. Another one was my confidence, belief that I can accomplish something, achieving something for myself. And with the exception of maybe not eating enough, pretty much all of these deal with personal things. Okay, not diet related things. It's behavior related things. And if being overweight or obese is a direct result of over-consuming food, all right, if it's a direct result of over-consuming food, it's not the food, okay, it's not the carbs, it's not the fat, it's not the protein. Okay, I can eat 5 chips every single day for the rest of my life, and that's probably not going to contribute a lot to me gaining tons of weight. Now, if I eat 5, the small bags of chips, if I eat 5 of those bags of chips every day, that would probably contribute to me gaining weight. What's the difference? The difference is portion size and how much I'm eating, over-consuming, right? I have a saying. My company is called My Low Carb Coach. And it's not that we're on a low carb diet, okay? I don't even like the word diet anymore. I used to think of it as a tool, but anymore, it's not a diet. It's that everyone else is over-consuming carbohydrates, okay? We're just wanting to eat a normal, healthy, reasonable human food that we're supposed to eat from this earth, that God or whoever it is or nature, that the universe provides us, and not over-consuming and embellishing in these things too much for what our body is designed for. So it's kind of a play, My Low Carb Coach. I'm not really low carb. It's that everyone else overconsumes them. Chris has said she has not read it yet. Chris, well, I can make sure that you get that, or I think I saw that you did get it. But Chris, by the way, anytime, if you want to reach out to me, you have my number. Well, you have my contact info. So Chris, if you ever want to talk, let me know. I'll hop on video with you, okay? I'm here to help out. Okay, let's talk then. If losing weight is very much a behavior-based thing, and is very much about our thoughts, because motivation only takes us so far, right? Once that motivation tanks, it all comes down to this: what are we thinking? What are we telling ourselves? Self-talk is really going to be the thing that dictates our journey. And you have to ask yourself, what are you saying about yourself during things? Are you saying things like um, losing weight is just hard, or it's too difficult, or I keep messing up? Because if that's what you keep telling yourself, if those are the words you keep saying, and that's the identity that you give yourself, what do you think your journey of losing weight is going to be? I mean, my brother is a landscaper, okay? Brilliant landscape designer. Designs the best landscapes you could imagine. And if he kept telling himself, designing is hard, I'm not good at it, I just fumble my way through, I have no idea what I'm going to do you really think that he could be successful at it? So I'm pretty sure I know what your answer would be there. And how can we expect to then just use that same negative kind of self-talk about ourselves and losing weight and still expect to lose weight and get there? The food portion is going to take part of it, but 95% of the work is going to be how we think and how we behave around food. All right. So some words, okay? Your words have an energetic signature to them. Okay. That's something that my mentor taught me and that I have learned. Your words have an energetic signature to them. And I mean, you can just tell when you go into a room and you talk to somebody. You ever get that feeling like when you're talking with someone, you can tell that they're just depressed, or that they're vibrant and happy, or they're the light of the room and if they feel fun, or a lot of times you can just read people just by the way that they talk. Like right now, I mean, how am I talking? What is my energetic signature? What I'm hoping my energetic signature is that I'm trying to uncover this new way of thinking for losing weight because it's serious. And I think that it's just glossed over. It's glossed over too much. We're always looking for the simple tricks and the hacks. And trust me, I got hacks. Okay, I got the weight loss hacks. But it's losing weight can't be on the basis of hacks, right? It's all us. So words, like I said, okay? Words that you use. Can't. Can't should be a word that is not even in your vocabulary. All right. I do my very best to be mindful of the word can't. In fact, that's great that I said that because what I suggest that you do is to be very mindful of the words that you use in the spoken word and the unspoken word because they will shape who you are. Now, can't, okay? Now you might say, well, John, I can't be Superman and I can't fly. Okay, I'm obviously not talking about that. However, in that regard, what I'm trying to convey here is not using that word at all, really. Try not to use the word can't, okay? So instead of the word can't, maybe you're using the word I choose not to. And here's an example. Okay, let me give you a real world life example when we're talking about weight loss and the word can't. When somebody tells you that you can't have something, okay, you like coffee, but John, you can't have it. What do you think that makes me internally really want? Coffee, right? Why not? It's here right now, right? It makes you want it. So when I'm on my healthy lifestyle, okay, I'm always trying to look at how I'm acting and how I'm feeling and what I'm thinking. Now, most of all of this for me now is all under the radar. It's automatic. I don't even think about it. But I have to try to think about it because as a health coach, I need to be able to convey into words and show people like what I'm thinking and what I'm doing. And one of the things that is very, very big for me is that there is no can't for anything. For example, if I want a donut, I could go get a donut right now. It is not in an avoid list for me, okay? I'm not on some diet. And if we use the words diet, like I'm on a diet right now, so I can't. I mean, that is very, very limiting and a bit disempowering as well. So we're not on a diet. A diet says that there's a beginning and an end, right? We don't want a beginning and end. We want to just the way we are. And I have to be honest with you. I've changed a little bit on that. I used to, like I said, look at diet as a tool, you know. It's a tool, but it's not a tool because in the end, when you stop doing it, you gain all the weight back. So we just need to start doing what is right and healthy for us right now, or at least what we can do and accomplish and not give up on. So to go back to the word can't, I don't say I can't have something. If I really wanted 4 slices of pizza, I could do it. I don't disallow myself from having it. It's not on an avoid list or anything, but I choose not to. I can't tell you the last time I ate an entire donut. I think I took one bite of a donut about 2-3 months ago just to see what that particular apple fritter tasted like because it looked really good, and someone was like, dude, you got to try it. I'm like, all right, I'll take a little bite. But you know, for some people that will be a trigger and they'll have to eat that and 2 more donuts or something. And if that, I think it's important to know what your trigger foods are, and that's not a trigger food for me. But I don't really want to eat the whole donut. That's the thing. I don't want to. It's just not my thing. And that's where that mindset, if we can shift you from where you are now to that kind of mindset, I am telling you, your life will change. All of this, how many carbs should I eat? Or what should I eat for breakfast? What should I have for dinner? It'll all sort itself out. All right. Cheat days. Should you have a cheat day? I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that we should have a cheat day? Do you think that's good terminology to use? I mean, let me know in the comments. Do you guys use the word cheat day? And you know, if you do, that's fine. There's no judgment here. We got to do what works for us, right? I can tell you what I don't like or what I do like. The word cheating to me is not really a great word to use because again, it's kind of like we're on a diet then and that we're cheating on something. There's just, if you want something, okay, you just have to weigh the consequences, the pros and cons. What is it that you really want right now? Is that something that if you consume it, you're going to be okay with it and you're not going to let it throw your entire day off, your entire week off or anything? It's like you go to the Cheesecake Factory and you're like, okay, you know, what am I going to get that cheesecake or I'm not going to get that cheesecake? Don't think about it as cheating. No, I'm going to have a cheat day and I'm going to cheat because you're not on a diet. You just eat a healthy life, a healthy lifestyle. And if you want that cheesecake, ask yourself, will I be okay if I eat that cheesecake? Can I get right back to eating healthy my 95% of the time that I do if I do have that cheesecake? Or is this going to kind of throw me all off and everything? And you know what? After you give yourself that little bit of space, okay, instead of just saying, oh yes, I'll take it. Just say, you know what? Give me just a couple minutes to think about it. That little space might be enough to be like, okay, you know what? I'd like it, but I don't really need it. I could go without it for right now. It would probably taste good, but I'm fine. At home, I have this really cool berries and yogurt thing that I put together that I also really like. Or you get the cheesecake, and it's like, okay, you're giving yourself a little treat. That's great. Don't let it ruin everything. And you move on with your healthy life. Okay? Are there any other words that you guys could think of that might end up being kind of like a... maybe a phrase that you wouldn't want to tell yourself, the phrase that might be disempowering when it comes to losing weight? Is there any that you can think about? Let me know in the comments. And I'll take another drink and I'll tell you another one. It helps a lot more, um, whenever there's comments or questions or anything, because then I can actually do coaching versus just preaching. Okay, so not allowed, that's another one that it's kind of a disempowering word. I'm not allowed to have that right now. I'm not allowed to have bread. Start using words like, I don't really want any right now. That's fine. Okay. Probably the biggest word that when it comes to mind your thoughts, the biggest phrase, okay, it's two words. The biggest one that I think that we need to guard against the most or be protective of. And that is the words, I am. I am blank. I am struggling. I am overwhelmed. Because if you're saying that you're overwhelmed, you're going to be overwhelmed, first of all. But a good question to say is, how can I not be overwhelmed? Okay? How can I not be overwhelmed? Well, I could dial things back a little bit and say, well, what's the basics? What's just the basics that I need to do to get started right now? Do you really need to do everything all at once? Do you really need to listen to 10 different health coaches out there? Maybe you only need to listen to one or two, because probably, most of the health coaches that are out there have a way of helping you to lose weight. We all have maybe a little bit different strategy or way, but it usually involves around eating healthy food. So the healthy food part, most coaches are going to give you some version of a healthy kind of way to eat and everything. Now you have to decide, do I want to do this low carb keto thing? Or do I want to just do something that is just not an overconsumption of food kind of thing? Which feels better for me? Do I want to do more exercise and fitness? Maybe you need a fitness kind of weight loss coach. If you're someone who is like, I'm not big on fitness, but I'm more into, how are my thoughts? How do I behave around food? How do I adjust my behaviors when I'm stressed or angry or irritated or something, so that I'm not over consuming food? Maybe that's me then, if that resonates with you. But if you're being overwhelmed, my suggestion is find just, one or two people, follow kind of what they're saying, and nobody's timing you. Okay. I'm not timing anybody when it comes to losing weight. This is not a rush. People lose weight at different rates, and it depends on so many factors. Are you a male or a female? Okay, males have a higher metabolism than a resting metabolism than a female does. It's just the way that biology works. How old are you? You see someone, wow, they're losing weight really quickly by eating these same kind of foods that I'm doing. They move about the same kind of movement that I do at work, but they're losing weight and I'm kind of staying about the same. Well, how old are they? What gender are they? Have they struggled with losing weight before? Yes or no? Because if you've gone up and down with your weight and they've just kind of always maintained about where they are, they're not going to be as up and down as easily. Okay, that has to do with biology and fat cells, and I have a video on that about how, why is it that some people gain weight and lose weight so much easier than other people? And if you have a question about that, let me know. I can explain it more. But if you're being overwhelmed, the idea is just to dial it back a little bit and ask yourself, don't say I'm overwhelmed. Say, what can I do right now that I can stick to that will start giving me momentum? Okay. If I was your coach, and we were doing one-on-one coaching, that's the avenue we would start exploring. Okay. How can we build consistency and momentum? That's the key. Lindsay says, I don't like the word diet. It makes me feel like I'm forcing myself to avoid something that I want. Yeah, 100%, right? Chris, I feel we need both fitness and eat better. Yeah, Chris, I look at it like this, okay? I look at it like when it comes to weight, okay, our weight, 95% of that is going to be based around food and nutrition. Now that's based on this right here, okay? How we act, how we feel, what we do internally and in the 3D world. And then what we choose to eat and how much we choose to eat of it. Probably 95% of the way there. People can lose weight and get to their goal weight without really doing fitness necessarily. But I'm not meaning to misconstrue fitness with movement. No one ever said, sedentary lifestyle. But it is absolutely possible if you're not moving very much, that if you're eating, a very low carbohydrate diet, in that case, you probably have to dial it down really far down. But in general, if somebody's basically getting movements during the day, cleaning the house, going to work, going for a walk after dinner, maybe, regular movement kind of stuff. And then you're eating a healthy diet with a diet being the kind of foods that you eat, right? And portion size. That'll probably get you about 95% of the way there. And then for some people, they have this goal weight of, sometimes it's a little bit unrealistic because it's like, I remember when I was 25, I fit into this size and I weighed this much. I weighed 120 pounds. And for whatever reason, I'm stuck at 135 or something. And I'm eating healthy. I'm exercising a little bit more and everything. And it's like, okay, well, you either got to be happy. That's where your body's happy. Or we got to get a little more strict. And if somebody's a little more strict and they're okay with that, great. The fitness part of it is, I look at it like this, okay? Fitness and exercise is, and don't get me wrong, is helpful for weight loss. It is a tool, absolutely, for helping to lose weight. But it's more about longevity and improving your overall health in general, improving brain function, improving muscle function, possibly extending your life. The nutrition part does that as well. There's a lot of benefits for fitness part of it. If we're just talking about weight loss, okay, and obviously being an overall healthy person is more than just losing weight. But if we're just talking about weight loss, the nutrition part is, and how we eat and our behaviors around food is probably about 95% of the thing. But I will always say fitness or exercise is excellent, is great. If I had to pick one between cardio and lifting weights, I would say lifting weights is probably the little better of the two. Of course, having both is ideal. But if you don't really have a lot of time to exercise and you're not in love with the gym or something, then lifting weights is really good because it helps to build muscle, and muscle is very much tied to longevity. It's tied to upping your metabolism. For example, when you exercise, okay, and you do cardio helps us burn calories while we're doing it. But then when we stop doing it, the calorie burn kind of starts to come down and we get back to our basal metabolic rate. However, when we lift weights and we build and we have enough protein and we build some muscle, okay, that muscle takes energy to maintain. And so somebody who has more muscle is just sitting here doing nothing, is burning more calories, has a higher metabolic rate because it just takes more energy to maintain muscle mass. So yes, I do agree with you. I think that we do need both. We need to eat better and we need to have some movement, and a little bit of exercise would be great as well. So good comment there. But I thought I'd break that down just a little bit. Mental health is number one. You need to be in a good place before you can get to exercising regularly and eat right. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, how difficult is it to eat healthy when you are stressed out, when you're tired, if you don't get good sleep, right? If you're just not in a good place, if you're depressed, you start to just not really want to eat as healthy, it seems like. Now, you can get to a place, like, for example, I'm at a place where I've had my down moments. Don't get me wrong. But like, my down moments, I don't look to downing a pint of ice cream to drown my sorrows. I do tend to have maybe a little bit more food, but for me, it's usually I'm like, okay, well, I want to eat something. Maybe I'm bored, I'm depressed or whatever, and I want to eat something. But I'm looking for the healthy things to eat because even though I might be down or stressed or tired, in the back of my mind, on autopilot, I am at an identity level. I am a healthy person. It's just part of who I am and what I do. And when we can get to the identity level, okay, and that's one level above thoughts. So there's the things we do. Those are a reflection of how we're feeling inside. How we're feeling inside is a reflection of our thoughts. Our thoughts are a reflection of who we identify as. So if we identify ourselves as a parent, we're probably going to start thinking parenting ways. And we start thinking parenting ways, I'm going to start feeling like I need to be a parent, good parent, or I'm a bad parent, or I'm a good parent because of the thoughts I have, because of the identity I have. And if the actions that I'm doing aren't aligned with the identity I've given myself as a good parent, then I'm probably going to start feeling bad, right? Everybody's a little bit different. Some people, when they get depressed, they don't eat. Other people want to eat. Everybody's a little bit different. We have to mind our thoughts in the way that we are. But what we want to do is get to a place, and this is a little higher up in the coaching level from just what we were talking about today. But since you mentioned that, the identity of who we are, what we identify ourselves as, will go leaps and bounds for being the automatic thing that we do no matter what situation that we find ourselves in. And if you really want to get one step above identity, that would be spirituality. Okay, but we'll save that for another time. Alrighty, let me see if I have anything else in here. Let's see, thinking out. So I put on here that, a lot of people are thinking about why is this happening to me? Why is everything so hard, right? So if we start flipping the switch a little bit with a different way of thinking, how can I, right? In what ways can I? So we're thinking more in outcome-oriented kind of ways. And outcome-oriented kind of questions that we start asking can help us to develop ourselves, become the kind of person that we want to be. Mark my words on this, all right? I don't know how else to say it, but losing weight and keeping it off lifelong without it being a struggle lifelong is going to come back to the self-talk that we're telling ourselves, the brainwashing that we do to ourselves. And that brainwashing will form our identity and our habits. And whatever our habits are, that is what we get. Okay? Thankfully, they can change them. We can change them, our habits. All right. So unless there's any other questions, that's about it for today. I think I talked a lot about really the important stuff of losing weight, of what we need to start considering and working on to get there. It's not how many carbs do I need to eat in a day? Okay, that's when my company is called My Low Carb Coach, that's a big question that a lot of people ask me right up front. How many carbs should I eat in a day to lose weight? I have no idea. I have no idea. We're all a little bit different. What's your exercise level, right? What do you do during the day? What does your other food look like? Do you snack a lot? How many meals do you eat? There's a lot of things that go into it, but it all starts right here. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for being here. Chris, you're welcome. And we're going to hook up. All right, Chris, I'll send you a message maybe tomorrow or something. And if you want, we'll hop on a call and we'll chat. Okay. All right. Thanks, everyone. And we will see you later. Talk to you soon.